the meeting and the building. The red dust of Viridia Prime swirled around Marcus Webb's boots as he walked around his compound. Marcus Webb had been on Viridia Prime for 3 years now. He still did not like being alone all the time. The settlement of New Haven was 15 kilometers to the south of Marcus Webb. This was close enough for Marcus Webb to get the things he needed. Far enough away that Marcus Webb could pretend that other people were not around. Marcus Webb liked the fact that Viridia Prime was quiet and empty. Marcus stopped at the edge of his property. Wiped the sweat from his face. His face was really worn out from being outside a lot. He was 42 years old. He looked a lot older. When you are really sad, it can make you look older than you really are. Marcus had a place behind him. It was too big for one person. He had built it for himself, Sarah, and the little girl they were going to have. Then something terrible happened. There was an accident with a transport and it took Sarah and his little girl away from him in just a second. This left Marcus alone with just plans for a life that was never going to happen. Marcus thought about the life they were supposed to have, him, Sarah, and their daughter. It was all taken away. He took a drink from his canteen and looked around at the rocky ground that went all the way to the purple mountains in the distance. Then he saw smoke. It was not the black smoke of a big fire but the thin gray smoke of a small fire for cooking, or maybe a little place where someone works with metal. When you are here in the empty space between towns, smoke like that usually means one of two things. Something bad is happening or someone needs assistance. The rocky terrain and the purple mountains were still there. Now his attention was on the smoke, trying to figure out what the smoke from a cooking fire or a small forge was doing out here. Marcus' hand went to the plasma pistol at his hip. He had learned to be careful living on the frontier. He was curious like most engineers are. They like to figure things out. Marcus liked to solve problems and uncover secrets. He picked up his field pack. Walked towards the smoke. The frontier had taught Marcus to be cautious, so he was careful as he approached the smoke. He really wanted to know what was going on. Marcus was an engineer and engineers like Marcus want to know how things work, so he kept moving towards the smoke. The ground got really rocky as he walked. There were lava flows that made walls and channels. The smoke took him to a valley. This valley was protected on 3 sides by rocks. What the terrain led him to, the valley had something in it that made him stop walking right away. The small valley and the terrain around it were really surprising to him. The alien woman was on her knees next to a house that was not finished. She was putting stones on top of each other carefully. The alien woman had skin that was a purple color. It looked really nice in the light. There were lines on her arms. They looked like tattoos. They seemed to be moving. Her hair was a purple color, then her skin. It was tied up in a knot at the back of her neck. She had on a dress and some loose pants. You could tell that she made these clothes herself from plants that grew there. The alien woman was building her dwelling with her hands. What really got to Marcus was the state she was in. The woman was very pregnant. You could see that her stomach was big and stuck out under her clothes. What was really surprising was that she was building a house all by herself out in the middle of nowhere using just rocks and her strong will to get it done. Marcus was amazed by her, the woman, and her situation, the fact that she was building a house, the woman, with no help all. He saw her pick up a rock that was really heavy, at least 20 kilograms. Her small arms were shaking a lot because it was so hard to lift. She was able to put the rock down. Marcus could tell she was very tired. He could see it in the way she moved. She put one hand on her back, the other hand on her stomach, and then she took a few deep breaths. Marcus watched as she did this. He could see the exhaustion in every single thing she did, especially the way she moved her body and the way Marcus saw her place her hands to support herself in her belly. She was clearly. Marcus could see that the rock had really taken a lot out of her. The engineer part of Marcus just could not take it. Marcus stepped into the clearing. He did this on purpose, making noise so that the woman would not be scared of him. Marcus wanted the woman to know that Marcus was there. The effect was immediate. She turned around fast, which was surprising because the volcanic glass woman was not in great shape. A sharp piece of glass was suddenly in the volcanic glass woman's hand. The glass woman's eyes were a really nice amber color, with vertical pupils, and they locked onto him with a lot of intensity. This made him raise his hands up slowly. The glass woman's eyes stayed locked onto him. "Hey, take it easy," Marcus said, trying to sound really calm. He did not want to scare anyone. "I'm not here to cause any problems. I saw the smoke coming from your place. I wanted to check if everything is okay at your place. I just wanted to make sure everything is fine with you and the smoke." She did not lower the weapon. Her eyes looked at the human, really looked at him, taking in his work clothes that were covered in dust, the bag on his back that was worn out, and the tools that were hanging from his belt. "Human," she said. The human noticed that her voice sounded nice, like music. She said each word very clearly as if she had learned the human language by listening to recordings of humans talking. The human was interesting to her. That is right. My name is Marcus Webb. I live 5 kilometers west of here. He nodded towards her construction project. That is a lot of work for one person to do. It is especially a lot of work for you to do in your condition, the construction project. Marcus Webb thinks that the construction project is work for one person, and that is what Marcus Webb is trying to say. Her free hand went to her belly, a move he knew meant she was trying to protect herself. I do not need any help from humans or anyone else. Marcus said, You did not say I did. He spoke in a voice. Marcus is an engineer. He has been building things for 20 years before he moved to Viridia. Marcus can see that the foundation of the building is going to have problems with water when the rainy season comes. The foundation will have trouble draining water. Marcus looked at the wall on the side of the building. He said, That wall is not strong enough to hold what you want to put on it. Marcus explained that the way the stones are stacked is not correct. The stone layering is wrong. Marcus knows about these things because he is an engineer and he has a lot of experience with buildings like this one, in Viridia. She got really upset when he criticized her. He noticed that she looked at the wall. For a moment she did not seem sure about the wall. The woman looked at the wall in question. He saw uncertainty on her face when she looked at the wall. Look, Marcus said, I do not want to say anything about your work. You have done a job with what you have. I also know that you are making this for a reason and it is probably very important. I'm guessing you do not have a lot of time to waste if it falls apart in a month. He put his hands down slowly. What about this? I will help you build it the right way. Marcus will help you build it the right way. No strings attached, no questions asked. Marcus is willing to help you build it right. Then I will leave you alone if that is what you want. The alien woman looked at Marcus for a long time. Marcus could see her thinking about what to do. She was trying to decide between being proud and doing what was best for her. She did not know if she could trust Marcus. She really needed his help. The alien woman was struggling with this decision. So she put down the glass blade. She asked the person, Why do you want to help someone you do not know? This person is not from around here. They are an alien stranger. Marcus shrugged. The pain in his chest was something he knew well. Let's just say I know what it is like to need a place for the people you care about, like your family, a place where your family can be safe. The way he spoke made her feel a little better. Her shoulders dropped down a bit. She was still very careful around him. I am Lyria of the Kvalith, she said. We have to finish this shelter before the next moon cycle comes around. The shelter has to be done before the moon cycle or it will not be safe for the Kvalith, and that is why this shelter must be completed before the next moon cycle. Marcus asked when the baby is due. He was already walking towards the house to take a look at the baby things. The baby was what was on his mind. He wanted to see the baby room and all the things they had for the baby. 26 of your days, perhaps less. Marcus let out a whistle. Then we had better get to work on this, he said. The first thing Marcus and the other person needed to do was make the foundation stronger. Marcus got down on his knees to take a look at the stones that had been laid. You have ideas about how to do this, but the foundation needs to be wider and the base stones need to be bigger, Marcus said. These big stones are really heavy and hard to move, but they will keep the foundation stable and strong, and that is what the foundation needs to be, stable and strong, so we can build on the foundation. Lyria said that she cannot lift the stones. She sounded really frustrated. The thing is, her strength is just not the same as it used to be. Lyria's strength is not what it was. That is pretty clear to her. Marcus dropped his pack, pulled out a collapsible pry bar and a small portable winch. I am here to help with this kind of thing. Engineering is not about being strong. Engineering is about using the tools and thinking ahead. Marcus said that engineering is about leverage and planning, not about muscles. Marcus and Lyria worked through the afternoon. They fell into a rhythm. Marcus did the work and the technical things. Lyria was really good at paying attention to the things and making things look nice. She made a mix from the clay they found nearby and some crushed up minerals. This mix got really hard when it dried. Lyria's fingers moved carefully. She filled in the holes, made the surfaces smooth. She did this like an artist. Marcus and Lyria kept working like this. Lyria was very good at what she did. Marcus was impressed with the mortar she made. The mortar was very strong. Lyria made it with the clay and the crushed minerals. Marcus found himself talking as they worked. The silence of the wilderness was pretty quiet, so maybe that is why he started talking. Or maybe it was because she was really different, so it felt safe to talk to her. Marcus told New Haven about the times in New Haven. He said it was tough to live on the frontier. Marcus also said it was really great to build something that would last in a world that was not always certain. Marcus did not talk about Sarah and the baby. The memory of them was still very painful for Marcus. Lyria did not say much at first. Then she started to talk about small things. The Kvalith were a people who moved from place to place. They traveled in groups with their families across the open spaces of the planet where they lived. The Kvalith thought that being with people was the most important thing and being alone was the worst thing that could happen to someone. Marcus said, "Why are you here by yourself?" as he put a support beam in place. Her hands stopped moving on the wall. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you is better than what might happen. The weight in those words told Marcus that he should not ask any questions. Everyone who lived on the frontier had secrets and reasons why they had come to this place at the edge of known space. Marcus understood that. He was okay with it. He respected the fact that people on the frontier had things they did not want to talk about. When the first of Viridia's 3 moons started to come up, they had gotten a lot done. The foundation was good and strong. The walls were straight up and down. They had the main parts of the roof ready. Viridia's 3 moons were really something to see at this point. The people working on the building felt happy with what they had accomplished so far. The walls of the building were standing straight and true. The basic frame for the roof was in place just like they had planned for Viridia's new building. Marcus stood back, wiped the dirt from his hands. "We can finish the work tomorrow. The roof needs to be sealed, a proper door needs to be built. Maybe the house needs a ventilation system." Marcus thought that the ventilation system would be an idea for the house. Marcus said that they should get the roof sealed first, then build a door for the house, and after that they can think about the ventilation system for the house. Lyria looked really surprised. Said, "You would actually come back? I said I would do this, did I not?" Marcus gathered all his tools. "The job is not finished yet. I do not like to leave a project like this half done. It does not feel right to me." Marcus thinks that finishing what he started is very important. The project needs to be finished. Marcus will do that now. Lyria looked at the shelter. Then she looked at him. The moon was shining down on her. This made her lavender skin look really nice and soft. Her amber eyes seemed to say thank you. Lyria said, "I have no way to repay the shelter you gave me. I have no way to repay you. I do not want any payment. I just want to know that you and the little one will be safe." He put his bag on his shoulder. "I will bring some food supplies tomorrow. You are eating for 2 people now. I think the food you have at home is running low." "Marcus Webb," she said, trying out his name to see how it sounded. "You are either really foolish or really kind." He said it is probably both, and he did this with a smile on his face. "See you at dawn." Marcus walked back to his compound with the light of 3 moons shining down on him. He felt something that he had not felt in a long time. This feeling was purpose. It had been 3 years since Sarah died. For the time since then, Marcus went a whole day without feeling overwhelmed by sadness. The sadness was still there. It probably always would be. It did not feel as bad as it used to. The pain of losing Sarah still hurt Marcus. It was not as hard to breathe now. Marcus felt like he could deal with the pain of losing Sarah a little now. He thought about Lyria, all by herself and pregnant, making a home in the middle of nowhere with her 2 hands. Lyria was really determined, the bond and the future. Marcus got to the valley just as the sun started coming up over the horizon. His backpack was really heavy because it was full of stuff he had taken from his storage. He had grabbed food supplements and medical supplies and things to build with that he had been saving for projects he never got around to doing. If Lyria was going to stay here in the valley, she would need more than just walls made of stone and being determined to make it work. Lyria was already up. She was taking care of a small fire outside the shelter that was not yet finished. The smell of food cooking got to Marcus. It was like herbs and stuff he did not know. It smelled okay. Lyria looked up when he got close, and for a second he saw that she was happy to see him. Her eyes are this amber color, but then she stopped smiling and looked serious again. "You came," she said. "I said I would," Marcus replied. He put down his bag. It made a sound. "I brought you some breakfast, real food bars, not the plants that grow around here." Lyria took the bar he gave her and looked at it carefully before eating a little bit of it. Her eyes got a little bigger. "This is good enough." Marcus said, "That is a compliment," with a small smile on his face. He took out a box that kept things hot. "I also brought coffee. It is not coffee, but it is okay." They ate together without talking. It was nice. The second sun came up. Joined the first sun, making the valley look pretty, with yellow and golden colors. Marcus saw that Lyria was eating slowly, like she was trying to make the food last a long time, even though it was a nice surprise. Marcus thought about Lyria eating her food like that. It made him think about the food in Lyria. How long had Lyria been here, surviving on whatever Lyria could find to eat? "We should finish the roof today," Marcus said, brushing crumbs from Marcus' hands. "I brought the kind of sealant and some special sheeting to keep the house warm," Marcus said. This will keep the house warm when it is cold outside and cool when it is hot outside, Marcus added. You have thought about this a lot, Lyria said. That is what Marcus does, Marcus said. I see a problem, then Marcus solves the problem, Marcus said. Marcus stood up, stretching Marcus' muscles that were sore from the work Marcus did yesterday. I've been thinking about something else too. The shelter is good. It is very simple. You are going to need than just 4 walls and a roof when the baby comes. You will need things like supplies, a clean water source, a way to deal with waste, and a way to control the temperature. Lyria's face got tense. I will take care of things the way my ancestors did. I am not saying you cannot do it, Marcus said slowly. Why do you want to make things more difficult than they have to be? My place has everything that you would need. There are lots of rooms and the place has everything we need. We have equipment and all that. There is plenty of space. No. That was it. The person meant it. Marcus put up his hands. Okay, I get it. I was just trying to help. I want to know what is going on. What is so bad that you do not want to be alone here? Lyria looked into the fire for a long time. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft but firm. I'm not trying to get from something. I'm trying to get to something. My child should be able to live without any worries. She slowly got up, using one hand to support her, and then she walked to the entrance of the shelter. Marcus went with her. He could tell she wanted to talk about this when she was ready. The Kvalith people travel in groups, she said. We have been doing this for a long time, thousands of years. The way the Kvalith society works is that we make decisions together. We think about what's good for everyone, not just what one person wants. This is what has kept the Kvalith people alive and strong. Her hand went to her belly. It also means that people do not have a lot of freedom when it comes to things that the clan thinks are important. Like having kids, Marcus said. Like having kids with someone who's not part of the clan, Lyria added. Her voice sounded sad and old. I was supposed to be with Torin, a man the clan picked for me because of his family and social status. I did not love Torin. The clan did not care about love. What the clan cared about was having children, making the clan stronger. The clan wanted to keep the family name going. Lyria thought about the children, the clan, and her life. The clan was very important to her. So were her feelings about having children with someone she did not love like Torin. She turned to face Marcus, her amber eyes shining with tears that she did not cry. Then she met Kale. Kale was from a clan, which meant that Lyria and Kale should not be together. Lyria and Kale tried to ignore the way they felt. Sometimes the way you feel about someone is stronger than what people think you should do. Lyria and Kale loved each other in secret for 2 cycles before people found out. Marcus felt his chest get tight. Marcus knew what was going to happen in the story. The clan elders got together, Lyria said. The clan elders decided what would happen to Lyria and Kale. Kale would have to leave and be all by himself until he died or found another group that would take in someone like him who was not wanted. I would have to go through a medical thing to make sure I was not having a baby from us being together. Then I would have to marry Torin right away. But you were already going to have a baby, Marcus said in a voice. Yes, I thought I might be. I was not really sure. When I heard what they decided, I knew I did not have a lot of time before they would make me have the thing. So I made a decision. Her voice got stronger. I took the things we needed. I made it look like we were supposed to leave. Then I ran to the place where the buses and trains are. I used all my money to get on a bus to the colony that was the away. It was called Viridia Prime. What about Kale? Lyria looked really sad. I do not know what happened to Kale. I left a note for Kale. I told Kale to get out of there and save himself. I told Kale not to come looking for me. I do not know if Kale got the note or if the people in charge found it first. I keep telling myself that he is alive somewhere starting. Marcus looked at Lyria. Said, I think Lyria is a mother doing whatever it takes to protect her child, Lyria's child. Marcus said, there is nothing about what Lyria is doing. Marcus moved toward the shelter. Marcus said, let us finish building Lyria the safest house on this planet. Marcus and Lyria worked through the morning with renewed purpose to build the shelter. Marcus installed the sheeting for Lyria's shelter. This thermal sheeting will create a layer of climate control that will make Lyria's shelter comfortable in any kind of weather. Lyria made things for the inside of the house like decorations. She used her talent to make regular things look really nice. She cut out spaces in the walls to store things, made the door frames smooth, and mixed colors to paint signs on the ceiling. What do those signs mean? Marcus asked, watching Lyria work. They are wishes from the Kvalith tradition, Lyria said. They are for being healthy, being safe, and being happy. Lyria stopped what she was doing, holding her brush. Usually the important people in the clan would paint these signs when 2 people are getting together in a ceremony. I want these things for myself and my child. We are our family now. As the afternoon got really hot, they went to sit in the shade of the home. It looked totally different. The stones that were just lying around yesterday are now a house. It is small, but it is strong and nice. It is beautiful, Marcus. He really meant it. Your child is going to love living in this house. It is a place to start. Lyria sat against the wall. She was really tired. You could see it all over her face and body. Her eyes looked happy and relieved. I could not have done this without you, Marcus Webb, she said. You have given us a gift, Marcus Webb, and I do not think I can ever thank you enough for it. Marcus Webb said, You do not need to thank me, Lyria. Then Marcus Webb pulled out his canteen. Offered it to Lyria first. I want to keep helping Lyria, not just with building things but with everything that Lyria needs. What do you mean? Marcus had been thinking about this all morning. He was trying to decide if staying would be good for everyone or just good for him. I mean, I want to be when the baby comes, Marcus said. He had learned some medical things when he was in the military. It was not a lot. He thought he could help if the baby came. I want to bring you things you need, Marcus said. Like food and water. I can bring those regularly. That is a commitment, Lyria said slowly. Why would you do this? This was the moment Marcus had been trying to avoid, the truth he had been carrying around with him for long like a heavy weight in his chest. He sat down across from her. Looked down at the floor because it was suddenly very interesting. 3 years ago my wife Sarah was going to have a baby, our child, a little girl. We had already picked out a name for her, Emma, and we had even set up a nursery for her. We had made all these plans for her future. The words were hard to say. There was an accident at the transport hub where Sarah worked. Something went really wrong when a lot of people were around. There was a lady who helped get people out of the building. She did not get out herself, Lyria said in a voice. No, she stayed there until everyone else was safe. Then the building fell down. She died right away along with 12 other people. That included a baby named Emma who never even got to be born. Marcus looked up. You could see the tears in his eyes. I made this place for 3 people. I have been living in it alone since, doing nothing, going nowhere, just existing. Until yesterday, Lyria said. Until yesterday, Marcus agreed. When Marcus saw Lyria building a home for Lyria's child with Lyria's hands refusing to give up despite really tough odds, it reminded Marcus of Sarah. Marcus realized that Marcus has been so focused on what Marcus lost that Marcus forgot what Marcus was good at, building things and helping people. Making impossible situations a little less impossible. He rubbed his eyes hard. So yeah, maybe I am being selfish. Maybe I am trying to do for you what I could not do for Sarah. I also really want to help you. You and your kid deserve a chance to fight back. I can give you that without putting you in danger. Lyria was quiet for a long time. Then she reached out. Took his rough hand in her small hand. I do not think you are a person, Marcus Webb. I think you have a lot of pain inside you. You are trying to make something good out of it. That takes a lot of courage. Their eyes. Something changed between them. It was not love, not at this point. They understood each other. Marcus Webb and Lyria were 2 people who had been hurt a lot. They found strength in knowing they were not alone. Marcus Webb asked, So you will let me help you? Lyria said, I will let Marcus Webb help me. But I have one condition, Lyria added. You have to let me help you in return. Help you? How can I do that? A small smile came on her lips. She said, You have been building walls around your grief just like I built these walls to keep myself safe. Maybe it is time for us to learn how to let someone get past our walls. Marcus felt something up in his chest. It was something that had to happen. I would like that, he said. They spent the rest of the afternoon together, not saying much and making a last changes to the shelter. Marcus and the woman worked on the shelter together. Marcus thought about the walls he had built around his grief, and the woman thought about the walls she had